Hello again. If we saw that a Secretary of State for Science admitted that he didn't even know what science was, or perhaps a Secretary of State for Justice who was unable to define what she understood by justice, then most of us would, I fancy, grow a little uneasy and start exchanging worried glances with each other. A Minister of State for Women, though, who says that she doesn't even know what a woman is another matter entirely. That is fashionable. It's with it. She, or I suppose I should say they, although there is only one of her, is showing her liberal credentials. Being able just to trot out a definition of women would be a positive disadvantage in her new job. This new government of ours is, after all, full of such thoroughly modern and up-to-date types. Keir Starmer says that 99.9% of women do not have penises, which is an oddly precise figure. There are 34 million women and girls in this country, and if just 0.1 of them do indeed have penises, then that must mean that 34,000 women are walking around in Britain with penises. That's quite a lot, really, but I think we need some more research on the subject. David Lammy said in an interview on the Wireless that men can grow a cervix after hormone treatment, something which is even more dubious than the idea of those 34,000 women with willies. It seems to me that the Labour Party has got itself into a right muddle about what should really be a very simple matter. In an interview on Woman's Hour in 2022, Emma Barnett asked Anneliese Dodds outright what Labour's definition of a woman was. Dodds replied that, well, I have to say there are different definitions legally around what a woman actually is. I mean, you look at the definition within the Equality Act, and I think it just says someone who is adult and female, I think, but then doesn't see how you define either of those things. I mean, obviously, that's then you've got the biological definition, legal definition. Of course, most of us would have no difficulty at all defining an adult as somebody over the age of 18, but it seems Anneliese Dodd finds this too hard. On being asked again, she replied that it depends what the context is. I find this very curious. I asked my wife about it, and she says that whatever the context, she still feels like a woman. I'd rather think this is how most women feel. It's the same as me being a man, really. I'm a man, and that doesn't change according to the context in which I find myself. It is fixed and immutable. You see, a girl is a young female who has XX chromosomes and a uterus and so on, and once she becomes an adult, she's a woman. It really is that simple, and context has nothing at all to do with it. That we now have a Minister of State for Women who is apparently confused by such a simple matter does not inspire me with confidence in her ability to stand up for the rights of women. Does she too, like David Lammy, think it possible that a man can, given the right medical treatment, grow a cervix? Does she, like the Prime Minister, think that there are many women running around with penises? Neither of these things is of course true, and that the Prime Minister and his cabinet think that they are is pretty alarming.